Hello student, welcome to standard 10th history chapter 4 part 5, the folk style of sculptural art. We are going to study this part. Yesterday in the previous lecture we have seen sculptural art and how the rock carvings were taken place, then the clay and the metals. So in this part we are going to study the folk style of sculptural art. The sculptural art is also an ancient as the art of painting, dating back to Stone Age. Carving tools out of the stone can said to be the beginning of sculptural art. So in the initial stages they wanted to protect themselves though, so they were carving out the tools from the stones. So this is called considered as sculptural art, the beginning of the sculptural art. The custom of making clay images for rituals has been prevalent in India since Harappan time. So in the Harappan excavation many such images were discovered, such as rattle, then the cart and bulls, etc. So such things were discovered over there. It has continued till today in many regions like Bengal, Bihar, Gujarat, Rajasthan, etc. The Ganesha idols, mask of Gauri, bull figurines made for the festival of Bail Pola, wooden memorials, virangals, that is memorial stone. Memorial stones is the stone which is put on the grave, a person's name and when he was born and when he was died. All this is written over there and some information about him if the person is very great. So that is called virgals, memorial stone. The decorated clay storage bins, etc. are few examples of the folk traditions of sculptural art. So stones are being carved out and then these stones are put on several places, or the bulls or the goddess Ganesha out of clay, out of different material. So this is considered as the folk style of sculptural art. I remember one person who used to take the chalk and then on the chalk unnecessary material he used to take out with the pin and he used to make the idol of Lord Ganesha. So that is also a type of sculptural art. Of course it is not very famous, but then it is a type of folk type of cultural art. So let us move on to the classical type of sculptural art. The Harappan seals, stone and bronze statues tell us about the 5000 years old or even older tradition of the Indian tradition of sculptural art. So we can go back to more than 5000 years and ever since then these sculptures was discovered, they were carving it out. It is said that the tradition of carving out stone sculptures of larger size began in the Mauryan period with the pillars. So large size of stone carvings began with Samrat Ashoka. The Sangchi Stupa was erected in Emperor Ashoka's time. However, the beautiful sculptural embellishment of the stupa are supposed to be later additions. The sculpture at Barhut are testimonies of the continuous development of sculptural art in India. So we can have a look of this Barhut stupa. One of the sculpture is given there. Barhut is a village in Satna district of Madhya Pradesh. King Dhanabhatti was the donor to carve out the stone, and then this what carvings you could see is the mother of Lord Buddha. Her name was Mayavati, and here what you could see is she's sleeping, and elephant is there. Then elephant is shown over there, and her maid servants are around her bed. The lamp is been burnt, and it depicts that Mayavati is dreaming. At the same time, she is pregnant, and an elephant was there in her dream. Then she also saw the lotus, and then it says that she asked what is the meaning of it, and then she was told that you will bear a child who will be ruling, but then who in a spiritual sense. So therefore we also know one of the name of Lord Buddha is Padmapani. Padma means the lotus, the lotus in the water. So lotus is calm and cool, and it gives joy to the people. In this way, Lord Buddha also said that if you want to overcome the sorrows of the world, then renounce the world, give away whatever your belongings, and the minimum you have, more the happiness you will get. So this dream which Mayavati got is depicted in Barhut stupa. Then Buddhism was spread far and wide in many countries outside India. The tradition of erecting Buddhist stupas began in those countries as well. The stupa at Borobudur in Indonesia is the largest stupa in the world. So it is the largest one. It was built during the 8th and 9th century Common Era. It was declared as the World Heritage Site in 1991. So a largest stupa, Borobudur stupa in Indonesia, could be seen here, and 8th and 9th century, 2 centuries this was taken to be built or carved out. Then let us move on to the next topic, that is the iconography. So you will be asked question, explain the Indian iconography, or what do you mean by iconography? Let us learn. The Gandhara school of art came into being in the 2nd century before Common Era in Afghanistan and neighboring region. It had Greek and Persian influence. So 2nd century Gandhara school came into being, and Greek and Persian influence this school has. The 1st to 3rd century Common Era, that is the Kushana period, saw the rise of Mathura school of art. The Mathura school laid the foundation of Indian iconography. So Mathura school laid the foundation, but what is iconography? Let us see. Iconography is a branch of knowledge which includes everything about the image of gods and goddesses. So now you know what is iconography is the images of gods and goddesses. This is known as iconography. The Kushana king made use of images of various deities on their coins. So on the coins, various deities were used. During the period of Gupta Empire, the iconographic rules were formulated and standards for sculptural art were set. So now here the rules were set, and when there is rules are set, then it becomes the classical style. So they had set rules for iconography. The art of making bronze images was developed under the patronage of Chola king during 9th to 13th century. So what sort of bronze images or the idols were made? Bronze idols of gods and goddesses like Shiva and Parvati, Nataraj, Lakshmi, Vishnu, etc. were made in this period. So you could see the Nataraja's dancing figure there. Then Lord Vishnu, then Shiva, Parvati, Lakshmi were made in this time. So in this way the iconography became the style, and it became famous during these it started from 2nd century, and Chola king in 9th and 13th century it flourished. So that's all, my dear student, for time being. In the next lecture we are going to study architecture and sculpture. Till then, goodbye and have a nice day.